As of today, over 7.2 million women in England play sport. That's a record high for the country. But beneath this progress, barriers still remain. Despite the success of the Lionesses, the rise of women's rugby, and female athletes taking home almost half of the Paris Olympic medals, UK studies show that women are still facing misogyny and exclusion on and off the pitch. 48% of women surveyed reported receiving sexist insults during sport. Comments like, "You throw like a girl," "You're not strong enough," or "You look like a man." Female athletes are also the target of 87% of online abuse, ranging from sexist and racist attacks to transphobic and homophobic slurs, along with unfounded doping accusations. Many face belittling attitudes, hypermasculine behavior, and entrenched lad culture simply because of who they are. Last year, the Tell Your Story campaign celebrated women in sport, but what did it take for us to get here? This docu-series follows the stories of 4 women navigating their journeys in male-dominated sports. Their fight isn't just personal, it's a challenge to the system, a call to rewrite sport culture.
Hello, my name is Bal and I do taekwondo.
Hello, my name is Sienna and I'm part of women's football.
Hi, I'm Gabby and I play American football.
Hi, my name is Caitlin and I'm part of fencing and ultimate frisbee.
I think just my cousins started playing football at a young age and I went to watch their matches and I just kind of fell in love with it and that was it. I was obsessed, started getting like, do you remember Match Attacks and stuff? Started getting all of that, all the collectibles, and then I just started from there really.
So fencing, I was like attracted to it like when my mum first introduced me to it when I was younger. She took me to like one little like club near my local area. I really wanted to continue, but like due to like finances and like atmosphere wise, like I just like left. And then frisbee, it was actually my boyfriend that got me into it. Yeah, I guess like the atmosphere of frisbee and like the people there really like, I was like, yeah, this is like a really fun sport actually. I don't mind giving it a go.
I knew I wanted to do a martial art. It was quite difficult for me to get to one from home, so I thought uni is the best opportunity to try something out. And I think I must have done the right decision because I'm still doing it in my final year. I just turned up to a session and just enjoyed it, I suppose.
I really joined because one of my flatmates from first year, one of my friends, he did it and we went to one of his games and I honestly, I thought it looked so fun. Felt the team kind of spirit and because we were standing on the sidelines behind the game and I just really wanted to have a go. So I tried to get some of my other friends to come to the taster session that year. No one was really that keen, surprisingly, but I managed to drag a couple of people along and I went to taste session. Like I didn't have any clue that I would even join. Like I just genuinely thought, oh, I'm gonna have a go, it's gonna be fun. And then I'm never gonna do it ever again in my life. Yeah, I had a lot of fun and I just thought, you know what, why not? I'll give it a go. I'll go to a couple of training sessions and then I just ended up actually really loving it.
I'd say a mix of both. I'd say in school, yes. Outside of school, no. And I think I was very grateful for, especially in school and in secondary school, for boys to kind of accept me. It could have been way worse and it could have been completely different. But they accepted me and we played. But out of school, yeah, it was very difficult. It was very difficult to find a team.
In frisbee, like originally, no. There was a lot of men there. Like it was very like male dominated. I think I was like one of 5 from what I remember, like a woman doing it. So I really didn't, but it was actually like once I got to know the members, particularly like the president at that year, he actually warmed me up to the sport and he was like, I believe in you, like you can do it, like just try it one time. And I was just like, okay, I'll try it. And he was so proud of me, like for even like showing up and like saying like, hey, I'm here. He was just like, yes, you're finally here. And for fencing, I established a group of friends who were like women who were similar to me. And it was like, oh, this is like who I'm like with, this is my group. But it was very hard to belong because there was also really experienced fencers and I was like just starting out again. So like I had a lack of knowledge in some ways, so I felt kind of like insecure a little bit. I was just like, oh god, they're so much better than me. But also like with the friends that I've made, they like encouraged me to like push further and learn more. So yeah, I think at the beginning it was a bit like, oh, not really.
I feel like compared to being in the society versus my preconceptions, it was very different. I feel like for a lot of women, martial arts is preconceived as a very, very male-dominated sport. And to an extent it is. I feel like Taekwondo, it might be club specific. There were women there. So I wasn't expecting there to even be many people of the same gender as me, but luckily I went in and it changed my perspective a bit more about martial arts because I've had no experience with it before. So to see other women doing it, and they were also higher belts than me, it was quite inspirational sort of to look up to, so yeah.
It was difficult at first because obviously you kind of feel a bit kind of like you're not really meant to be there in a way, because you know you're not like, I'm not like everyone else who does it obviously, but Mia, who was there in my first year of doing it, she was really lovely. Literally stayed with me like training. She was like, come with me, and also the coaches were so lovely. They were both like they never treated me any differently, which I think helped because it made me feel like I was like part of the team.
Yes. When we were trying to find a team, it was hard, and I thought, oh, there's a reason for that, and there's a reason why there isn't many teams. And so when that was happening, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should try something different.
I had always, for example, with martial arts, I had always wanted to do it, but there were not many people in my life that were women that did martial arts. And also, I know England is quite progressive, but I'm Indian of heritage and my parents are very sort of traditional. So women shouldn't really do martial arts, they shouldn't fight people. So it was more so what I had thought about martial arts before. However, my opinion changed a lot going into it. I do feel like it is something for me, but definitely before I felt different.
At the beginning and even now, yeah, because things like when we do like running, I'm always last, like I can't run as fast as everyone else. It can be a bit embarrassing. I'm always behind everyone else. You kind of think like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, like maybe I'm not good enough to be doing this. But just because I'm like holding myself to the same kind of standards that as the others, even though like maybe they're like 6'3", like they're obviously going to be able to run faster than me, but I'm just kind of like, oh.
I loved it. That was it. I loved the sport, and I think in that moment I wasn't going to let anything stop me.
I guess it was the people really in both societies, like they really like helped me come out of my shell a bit more, yeah.
It teaches you discipline, martial art does, and for me it was more so the discipline of attending every session and having a routine of that sort. It was really, really hard at the start. I really wanted to quit because it's really hard to learn something new, because it's not like football that you learn during school. You don't learn how to do karate or taekwondo or judo during school, so it was really difficult to get the motivation to keep going when you're bad at something at first, but once I crossed that hurdle, I never looked back, so.
The stereotypes, yeah, they were difficult. It was more like hanging around boys, and then people would be like, oh, why are you hanging around boys? And it'd be like, but you just kind of get used to that and you block that out, because the reason why you're doing that is so you can play football. So I guess it comes together, like you hang out with a certain group and you get backlash from it from a different type of group, but you're doing that in order to play and do something that you love. Younger, when in like primary school, it was probably just to be a bit more sporty. In secondary school, it was a bit more, oh, you're a tomboy and you're this and you're that, but no, it's just, I like playing football, and whether you think that's for women, then that's your own opinion. But
I think the stereotypes for both sports is like women tend to get into their heads a lot. We're too emotional, like women are too emotional. We overthink a lot of things, so like with Frisbee especially, it's like women tend to overthink, they take too much time, like because you're on a disc for like 8 seconds or something, and we can't deal with pressure when actually like we can. I think we deal with it better than other people, because like I think we have that point to prove. We're just like, no, we can. Like, what are you talking about?
So in terms of stereotypes, I feel like women are stereotyped to be less aggressive, more gentle, and in the sparring aspect, people might believe that men are better, just naturally better at sparring than women. Honestly, I feel like once you're in that setting, once you're in the dojang, it is quite sort of, people don't look at you as a man or a woman. The only time they will is because in competitions you spar a man or you spar a woman. But I feel like as long as you have the capability and you showcase your technique, people don't put your gender down to you being worse or better. Like you can be a good female sparrer, you'll have men that are worse at sparring than you. I think the stereotypes generally apply to people who aren't really in the martial arts field and what they see martial arts as, but women are like pretty badass, right? So I think women are great at sparring, and I've as well. So
I think obviously like American football stereotypes, you think like a tall guy, like kind of like muscular or like just big. Like you kind of think someone who looks like they could like tackle someone. Yeah, like I've kind of hear people like say like, oh, she looks really small to be doing American football or something. I think, you know, it's important to say like there are things that you can do if you like. I didn't know that at the start. I thought there's going to be absolutely nothing that I can do. Like I'm not built for this. But there was like there's absolutely something for everyone, and I think it's really important that you get people of like all different types to kind of do the sport to show that like anyone can do it.
General equality. That's literally all it is. If there's a sport for one gender, it should be for both or for many. And that's it. It's just to respect the people that want to play the sport that you like watching. I think it stems down to it's always been a male-dominated sport, and now that they're all of a sudden, you know, like women and girls are playing too, and they're getting quite a shock, and they're feeling a bit, oh, like they're in our space and all this. But if it was equal from the start, then they wouldn't necessarily have those feelings.
It's very hard because like it's like for fencing, like women do show up, so it's really nice to see we build that community. With Frisbee, not a lot of women show up, so I guess it's like if you do show up, like you'll be welcomed with open arms. Like don't worry, like, and I guess it's like we're trying to build a stronger community in Frisbee for women. We're really trying to like say women can do this. Like, what are you talking about? I think it's like don't be scared, I guess, to try something even if you think it is really male dominated. You'll be shocked. You'll be so shocked at who's there.
It's easy to underestimate women, especially when it's a combat sport. I think, and I do think Taekwondo does this very well, is give the same sort of attention to men and women in terms of the equality of understanding that people can be great as women sparrers and also male sparrers. And definitely for women that are wanting to do martial arts, I'd say the intimidation you may feel about being a woman in a sport that may have a lot of men you are in no means less capable. I think the reason why there might be less women as well is just because of that stereotype of combat sports is for men. So I feel like that's why many women who may have that feeling of wanting to do a martial art, they may not fully go through with that, because understandably it can feel intimidating being in a sport where there's so many men. But especially for our club, I want people to understand that we've got a lot of women. I think last year we had a couple more women, so more women than men, I mean, so it is really nice. So I love pushing that statistic out. I'm like, we've got loads of women, so please join us. Yeah. So yeah.
I think it's obviously really daunting. I was absolutely terrified. I I really didn't know why I was doing it. I was just kind of like, at times I'd be in training, I'd be like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? But I think it's important that you just kind of have to stick to your guns. You just kind of have to be like, if I want to do it, then I can be here. Like, I can be here. No one's going to tell me I can't be here. It's kind of important. Like, I kind of did it to prove to myself that I could do it. Like, I saw it as like kind of challenge. I was like, if I want to do it, I'm gonna make myself do it. Like, no matter how like maybe uncomfortable it made me feel, or like how much I thought I felt like I couldn't do it. To me, it was more of a thing like, I need to prove to myself that I can do it. And I think that it's important that even if maybe you don't feel like you belong in that space, you make yourself do it. Yeah.